Hello everyone, and welcome to our next video lesson. Today, we are doing constructions for Chapter 1. There are 6 constructions that we will be doing in this video lesson, so make sure you have a protractor, a compass, a straight edge, so that you're ready to make these constructions. The very first one, all we're going to do here, it's probably the easiest one, we're just going to copy a segment. So we want the length of AB, we want to make that exact same length for another segment. So the first thing you're going to do here is you're going to put a point to the right side of segment AB. So on your paper, please write a point on the right side of AB. That's going to kind of function as point A. Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to put our needle of our compass at point A. And we're simply just going to measure the distance using our compass from point A to point B. So you're going to open it up just wide enough so that you have your needle at point A and your pencil or your marker at point B, just as I have. Once you have this setting, don't change anything because you're going to use this exact same setting to copy your segment. So now you're going to put your needle at the point that you drew earlier, and now you're going to draw an arc. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be too small, whatever, right in the middle. So there is your arc. And now you simply take your straight edge and you connect your point to your arc. And there you have it. You have successfully copied a segment. So if I were to call this now something like point Q, and this one is point R, for example, now we can say AB, that segment, is congruent to segment QR. If one segment is 7 inches, the other segment is 7 inches. If one segment is 5x plus 12 and the other segment is 3x minus 2, you could set them equal to each other and solve. So that is the first construction, the easiest one, just copying a segment. The next one is copying an angle. So here's how we're going to copy this angle. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to have your needle on the vertex of the angle, and you're going to open up your compass, again, kind of like a medium amount, I guess. It's not going to be so small or so large, kind of more in the middle. And then what you're going to do is you're going to draw an arc that intersects both sides of your angle. So both ray BC and ray BA are going to be intersected by the arc that you draw. So here it comes right here. I'm now going to draw an arc that intersects BC and BA. You guys please do that as well. Now you're going to use this same compass setting, so don't change anything, don't open it, don't close it, use that same compass setting. You're now going to make one side of your ray using your straight edge. So please use your straight edge and off to the right, make one ray of your angle. And this point right here is going to act as the vertex. You're going to put your needle at the vertex. And then you're going to use that same compass setting and you're going to draw an arc that intersects the ray, and you're going to make it a pretty decent size arc. Something like I have just drawn right there. All right, the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to get the distance of this intersection point to this intersection point. So you're going to put your needle at one of those intersection points, and you're going to put your pencil at the other intersection point. So open it or close it, whatever you have to do to get the needle at one end and your pencil at the other intersection. Just like I have up here. Now from here, you're now going to put the needle at this intersection point on the new angle that you're going to copy. And then you're going to make an intersection with this part right here. So you're going to draw an arc just like this. And now you can move your compass out of the way. And now with a straight edge, you connect a line from the vertex right through that X, right through that intersection that you made. and right there. And now you have successfully copied the angle. So now if I were to call this angle X, Y, Z, you can now say angle ABC is congruent to angle X, Y, Z. And that's how you copy an angle. Next one is to bisect segment AB. So to bisect an angle, what we're going to do here is you're going to put the needle at point A, and the restriction on this one is you have to open up your compass so that it is at least greater than half the distance of AB. So half the distance of AB is approximately right there, and you want to open up your compass so that it's more than halfway. What I usually do is I usually open it up about 3/4 of the way. You can open it up really far, but then you kind of tend to get in the way of some of the other questions that you have above and below the problem that you're working on. So I usually go about 3/4 of the way. And what you're going to do is you're now going to make a big arc. You want an arc on the top of the angle, or on the top of the segment, and on the bottom of the segment. But just to make things easy, we could just take this same compass setting, and we're going to make an arc that goes all the way from the top to the bottom of the segment. So a big arc like this. Please draw that on your paper. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, so keep that same compass setting and put it at point B. So here's point B, and now you're going to draw a big arc again from the top of segment AB to the bottom of segment AB, and it should intersect the first arc that you drew in two different spots. One right there, and one right there. So now you have drawn two arcs that intersect each other in two different places. So now what you can do on this one, you take your straight edge, and your straight edge, you connect the top intersection to the bottom intersection. Right there. And this red segment, maybe I could call it segment D, segment E, and this point right here where A, B, and DE intersect is point F. You could say that DE is the bisector of segment AB, or you could say segment AF is congruent to segment FB. That's what a bisector does, is it cuts the segment in half. Okay, next one. We're going to bisect, instead of a segment, this time we're going to bisect an angle. So to bisect an angle, as you're doing these, you can almost kind of envision what you're going to be seeing. To bisect an angle means to cut it in half. So you're going to take a ray from the vertex, and you're going to cut it in half. Don't write that down, but that's what you should be seeing at the end. You should be visualizing that as you're doing that right now. So what you're going to do for this one, just like when you copied an angle, when you bisect an angle, the first step is to open up your compass, you know, a little distance here, about a medium distance I would say, and you are going to draw an arc that intersects both sides of the angle. So both rays BC and ray BA. And there I have drawn an arc that intersects both sides of the angle. Next thing you're going to do, open up your compass a little bit more, and from this first intersection point that I'm going to put on here, you are going to put your needle at that intersection, and you're going to draw an arc right in here. It should be in the middle of the angle. So right there. Again, we're bisecting it, so we're going right down the middle. So this first arc, rats! Hey! Did that work? Close. Open up a little bit more. There, we got it? All right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put the needle at this other intersection point right there. And now we are going to make our X, our other intersection, right there. And now you can put your compass away, take out your straight edge, and go from the vertex B right through the heart of that intersection right there. Right there. So now this blue ray that I have up here is the bisector of ABC. If I call this point D right here, we could say angle ABD is congruent to angle DBC because it is a bisector. All right, two left. This one to construct the perpendicular bisector. To be honest with you, we really already did this one when we bisected a segment. When we bisected a segment, we actually did make a perpendicular bisector. This angle right here is 90 degrees. So we're going to kind of practice this one again, construct a perpendicular bisector. What we're going to do first is we're going to put our needle at point A. You're going to open up your compass so that it's more than half the distance from A to B. So more than half the distance. I usually, again, say about 3/4 of the distance. And then you're going to draw a big arc that goes from one side of segment AB all the way to the other side of segment AB. Much like this. And then you'll do the same thing with that same compass setting, so don't open it, don't close it, keep it the same as it is. And you're going to draw another arc starting at B that's going to intersect the previous arc that you drew. Just like this. Now that you have this, you're going to take your straight edge and you are going to draw a segment that connects both of these intersection points from there to there. And so if this were to be segment DF, for example, DF is perpendicular to segment AB. This angle right here would be 90 degrees. Our last one, kind of similar, but on this one, we want to make it perpendicular that goes through a point that's not on the line. On this example, we made it perpendicular to this point, which is on the line. On this one, we want to make it perpendicular to R, which is not on the line. So it's just one additional step. So here's what we're going to do for this one. You're going to put your needle at point R. Now you need to open up your compass enough so that it intersects point M at two different spots when you draw an arc. So like if I were to draw an arc right here, it would intersect once right there and once right here. So that would be a good compass setting. If you have your compass closed too much like this, now I wouldn't intersect it at all. So this compass setting isn't wide enough. So you want to open it up wide enough, right about there, so that you're going to intersect it when you draw an arc at one spot on line M and two spots on line M right there. So there's the arc that I'm going to draw right there. So it intersects line M in two different spots. Now what you're going to do, bring your compass so that it's on this intersection point that you just drew, right there. And you're going to draw an arc below line M, right about there. And using that same compass setting, you're going to go to the other intersection spot, right there. And you're going to make that intersection, or that X, right here. Moving the compass out of the way, we can now connect point R and that intersection that you made from here to there. And now you have successfully made perpendicular lines that goes through a point not on the line, point R. So those are the 6 constructions that you will be responsible for knowing for our Chapter 1 test.